That night, after my party, my uncle Chinedu cornered me, pinned me against the wall, forced himself on me and raped me while I froze and couldn't fight back. My name is Ngozi, and I'm 25 from Riverside, the girl who trusted him like a dad since mine walked out, letting him help with my life and dreams. People in my town put men like him on a high place, ignoring the hurt they cause because family respect comes first. If you are hearing my story, it is no longer just mine. It belongs to us now. If any part of it made you feel seen, I beg you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe so I know my story reached you, and tell me in the comments, which part of the world did my story reach you? Let me know where this journey has taken us. Thank you. Let me tell you how I got here. I grew up in Riverside without a father. The man left when I was 6 years old, just packed his things one morning and never came back. My mama, Amara, that woman worked herself to the bone to keep us going. She did everything, selling in the market, cleaning, anything to make sure I had food and school fees. But me, I always felt like something was missing, like there was this empty space in my life that I didn't know how to fill. I used to watch other girls with their fathers and wonder what that felt like. That's when Uncle Chinedu stepped in. He wasn't my uncle by blood. He was my mom's older brother, but to me, he became everything. He was the one who came to my school events. He gave me advice about boys and life. He helped me dream about my future. I told him I wanted to open a small cafe one day, and he didn't laugh. He said he believed in me. He was building this image, making me trust him completely. All those things he did, I saw them as kindness. I didn't know then that he would one day use them against me, like a debt I had to pay. When I turned 18, he gave me a real job at the plant where he worked. He told everyone he saw potential in me, that I was a smart girl. I was so grateful. My mom was proud, and the whole family was talking about how lucky I was to have him looking out for me. That job felt like a gift, a step towards my cafe dream. But now, when I hear those words, after everything I've done for you, this is how you think me, I realize that job was just one more thing he added to his list, waiting for the time to cash in. But looking back now, I see the signs I missed. His hugs lasted too long. He always wanted to know where I was and who I was with. He'd call me late at night just to check in. I didn't see it as a problem then. I thought it was love. I truly thought he cared for me like a daughter. I didn't realize every call and every hug was just him getting closer, building that sense of security so I wouldn't suspect him. I was so blind, mistaking his control for care. Then came my 24th birthday. My mom threw a small party at the house with the familiar, lovely smell of jollof rice cooking. Uncle Chinedu was there, of course. He brought me a gift, a beautiful necklace. He said, "You're becoming a beautiful woman, Ngozi. I'm so proud of you." I remember smiling, completely happy, putting the necklace on right away. That gift, that beautiful thing, now sits in a drawer. I can't wear it, but I can't bring myself to throw it away either. It was the last piece of the lie, the final thing he gave me before he took everything. I didn't know those words were a warning. After the party, everyone left. My mom was exhausted, so she went to bed early. The whole house still had that smell of jollof rice from the party. It was just me and Uncle Chinedu in the living room. He said he wanted to talk to me about something important. My heart started beating fast. I thought maybe he was going to help me with the money from my cafe. I trusted him completely, so I sat down, ready to hear the good news. I thought my dream was about to begin. But then, his voice changed. it wasn't my uncle's voice. It was low and strange. He moved closer to me on the couch, too close. He started saying things that didn't make sense. He said I was special, that we had a connection, that he had always felt something for me. My stomach just turned inside out. I felt sick. I jumped up from the couch immediately. My voice was shaking, but I told him, "You need to leave. Please, Uncle, you need to go right now." He didn't leave. He just looked at me. Then he grabbed my wrist so hard it hurt. His voice turned cold, a coldness that chilled my bones. "After everything I've done for you, this is how you thank me?" Those words, they still ring in my ear. He started listing everything, the job at the plant, the advice, even that necklace he had just given me. He reminded me of every single favor he ever did for me, turning all his kindness into a weapon. Then he said, "I'm not even your real uncle. You know that, right?" When he said that, I froze. I don't know how else to explain it. My body just stopped working. I wanted to scream for my mom. I wanted to run out of the house, but I couldn't move. I couldn't make a sound. It was like his words, "After everything I've done for you," were holding me down. The smell of the jollof rice was still in the air, but it felt like I wasn't even in the room. He pushed me down onto the couch, and then he did what he did. When it was over, he just stood up. He calmly fixed his shirt. He looked down on me, still lying on the couch, like nothing had happened. Like I was nothing. He didn't look sorry. He didn't look angry. He just looked normal. He said, "I'll see you next week for dinner." And then he walked out the door, leaving me there. I think I was still wearing that necklace he gave me. I don't know how long I stayed on the couch, but I finally crawled to the bathroom. I remember ripping that necklace from my neck. I spent the whole night on the cold floor. I scrubbed my skin until it was red and raw, until it hurt. But I still felt dirty. I just kept thinking, why didn't I fight back? Why didn't I scream? What is wrong with me? His words, "After everything I've done for you," kept playing in my head. I blamed myself for everything. I felt like it was all my fault. The next morning, my mom found me. I was still sitting on that same cold bathroom floor. She just stood in the doorway and looked at me. Her eyes, I think she knew something terrible had happened. She asked me, "Ngozi, what is it? What happened?" I tried to lie. I wanted to protect her, to protect myself. I said I was just feeling sick, but I looked at her and I just broke. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I cried and I told her everything. I told her what Uncle Chinedu did to me. I was so scared. I thought she would tell me I was lying. In Riverside, men like him are respected, and I was just a girl. I thought she would protect him, her own brother. But she didn't. She just held me and she cried with me. And then she looked at me with this fire in her eyes and said, "We're calling the police." I panicked. I begged her not to. I said, "Mama, everyone will know. The whole town will talk about us." But she held my face and said, "If we don't report him, he'll do this to someone else." So my mom made the call. 2 detectives came to our house, a man and a woman. Detective Ifeoma Okoye and Detective Emeka Nwafor. They were kind. Their voices were soft. But I hated every second of it. I felt so ashamed. I had to sit in my own living room and tell them what Uncle Chinedu did to me. I had to describe everything. I even had to repeat the things he said, like, "After everything I've done for you." Saying those words out loud to strangers, it felt like I was right back on that couch, reliving it all over again. Then the detectives started their real investigation, and the questions were hard. They asked me things I didn't want to answer. Were you drinking at the party? What were you wearing, Ngozi? And the one that hurt the most, why didn't you scream? I couldn't believe it. It felt like even the people who were supposed to help me were looking for reasons to doubt me. It was like they were already on his side, thinking I must have done something wrong, as if I should just been grateful for all his help and kept my mouth shut. It didn't take long. Within days, the whole family knew. My mom's phone would not stop ringing. Some relatives, like my Aunt Kemi, came to the house and held me. She just hugged me and said, "I believe you, Ngozi." But most of them, they didn't. My Uncle Tunde called my mom, shouting. He called her a liar. He said we were trying to destroy a good man. That's the way it is here. You're supposed to be grateful for a man's help, not accuse him. They thought I was just an ungrateful girl trying to ruin the man who helped me.
The family talk was just the beginning. The news spread through Riverside like wildfire. I couldn't even go to the market. Everywhere I went, people just stared at me. I heard the whispers following me. "That's the girl who accused Chinedu. She's probably lying. She just wants attention." It was exactly what I told my mom would happen. The whole town saw me as the ungrateful girl who betrayed the man that helped her. I stopped going outside. I quit my job at the plant, the job he got me. I quit my other small job too. I just couldn't face anyone. Sitting at home with no job, my cafe dream died. Just like that. I had been saving money for years, every small bit. But now, with no income, I couldn't afford anything. I couldn't even help my mom. I felt like Uncle Chinedu had stolen everything from me. It wasn't just one night. He stole my reputation in the town. He divided my family. And he stole my future. That cafe dream he once told me he believed in, he took everything. Then, as we were just sitting in the quiet, my mom started remembering things. Things she had forgotten. She told me that years ago, Uncle Chinedu used to ask her strange questions about me. "Is Ngozi seeing anyone? Does she talk about me?" My mom said she just thought it was him being a protective uncle, the man of the family. But now, she looked at me with so much pain in her eyes. She realized it was something darker. All that protection was just him watching me, waiting. He was never protecting me. He was trapping me. Then, just when I felt like the whole world was against me, something unexpected happened. A young woman named Zainab went to the detectives. She worked with Uncle Chinedu at the plant. She told them he used to touch her in ways that made her uncomfortable. He would stand too close. He would make comments about her body. She was terrified to speak up because he was her boss, and you don't speak against the powerful man who gave you a job. But when she heard what happened to me, she decided she had to talk. Zainab's testimony changed everything. The detectives finally saw it wasn't just me. They now had proof that Uncle Chinedu had a pattern. He wasn't just a good man who made one mistake like his family kept shouting. He was a predator. He was a man who used his position, who offered help and then expected something more. His words, "After everything I've done for you," weren't just for me. It was how he operated. Knowing I wasn't the only one, it didn't fix anything, but it made me feel a little less crazy.
It took 3 long months after I reported him. Then one afternoon, the police came to his house. My mom and I watched from our living room window as they put him in handcuffs. This man, the man who was like my father, the man who gave me that necklace, they were leading him to their car like a common criminal. I thought I would feel relief or maybe even joy, but I didn't. I just felt empty. I watched the car drive away, and I felt nothing at all, just numb. That numb feeling didn't last long. Uncle Chinedu's family was furious. They have power in this town, so they posted his bail within hours. He was free. Then we heard they hired the best lawyer they could find, a man named Barrister Jide Olawoye. I looked him up online. He was famous for one thing, destroying women who accused powerful men. They hired him to prove I was just an ungrateful liar. In that moment, I knew exactly what was coming. I knew this was going to be a terrible fight. Barrister Olawoye started his attack immediately. He didn't waste one single day. He went straight to the media and told them I had a history of lying. He said I had mental health problems, that I had been in relationships with older men before. All of it, just wicked, terrible lies. None of it was true. But it didn't matter. People in Riverside believed him. It was easier for them to believe I was a bad, ungrateful girl than to believe a powerful man like Chinedu could do such a thing. With all those lies spreading, I started to break. I started having nightmares, terrible ones. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even eat. His cold voice was just always in my head. After everything I've done for you, I was sinking. My mom saw me wasting away, and she took me to see a therapist, Dr. E.C. Mensah. At first, I fought her. I didn't want to go. In our community, you don't talk to strangers about family problems. I thought therapy was for weak people. But I was so tired. And that woman, Dr. Mensah, she changed my life. In our first session, I told her how much I blamed myself. I kept asking her, why didn't I fight back? Why did I just freeze? Dr. Mensah listened to me, really listened. Then she explained something to me that I had never understood. She said that when I froze, it wasn't my fault. She said my brain was just trying to protect me, to survive. She called it a survival response. Then she looked me right in the eye and said, "You didn't consent, Ngozi. Freezing is not consent."
When she said those words, freezing is not consent, something just broke open inside me. For the first time since that night, I felt like maybe I wasn't broken. All this time, I had been hearing his voice in my head. After everything I've done for you, and I believed I was the weak one for not fighting back. The whole town expected me to be grateful, and I felt like I had failed them all. But Dr. Mensah's words, they made me see I wasn't weak. I wasn't a bad person. I was just human. That feeling of being human gave me just enough strength for the next step. I met the prosecutor for my case, a woman named Neka Ume. She was not soft like Dr. Mensah. She was tough, and she didn't sugarcoat anything. She told me the trial was going to be brutal. She said Barrister Olawoye would try to humiliate me, to make me look like an ungrateful liar in front of the entire courtroom. He would twist every good thing Chinedu did. But then, she looked at me and said, "If you tell the truth, we have a chance." And Prosecutor Ume was serious. She built her case carefully, piece by piece. She had my testimony, every painful word. She had Zainab's testimony, which showed his pattern. She laid out the whole timeline of his grooming, starting from all those years ago. She showed how every gift, like that necklace, and every favor was part of his plan. She even had evidence that he had already violated his bail by sending a family member to beg my mom. She was building a strong wall, brick by brick. But as the trial date got closer, I started to panic. All I wanted to do was hide. I thought about backing out. I told my mom I wanted to drop the charges, to just run away from Riverside. It would have been easier to just be the silent, grateful girl everyone wanted me to be. To let it go, like all the whispers told me to. But then I thought about Zainab. I thought about her courage in speaking up. And I thought about all the other women, the other girls Uncle Chinedo might hurt if I stayed silent. I knew I couldn't back down. That night, the night before the trial, I was shaking. I couldn't even sit still. My mom, Amara, she came and sat with me in my room. She just held my hand. She looked at me, and her eyes were so strong. She said, "Ngozi, no matter what happens in that courtroom tomorrow, I am proud of you. You chose the truth, and that is the bravest thing you could ever do." Her words, they were what I needed. Everyone else wanted me to be the grateful, silent girl. But my mom, she was proud of me for speaking.
The day of the trial came. Holding onto my mom's words, I walked into that courthouse, and it was packed, just as I had feared. I saw Uncle Chinedu sitting at the defense table in a suit, looking so calm and confident, like he hadn't done a single thing wrong. Then I saw his family, our family, glaring at me with pure hate. They believed I was the one who had lied, the one who was ungrateful. I saw reporters with their cameras waiting. My hands were shaking so much I had to clench them together. My hands were shaking, and I felt so small. I almost turned around. But then, across the room, I saw my mom. She looked right at me, her face full of strength. I saw my Aunt Kemi, the only other relative who stood by us. And then, sitting in the back, I saw Zainab. She gave me a small, brave nod. I saw Prosecutor Umair standing tall, ready to fight for me. Seeing them all there, facing those angry stares, I realized something. It wasn't just me against him. I wasn't alone. When they called my name to the witness stand, I stood up. My legs felt weak, like they were shaking under my wrapper. My voice felt so small, I was afraid no one would hear me. But I held on to that feeling of not being alone, and I walked all the way to that stand. I placed my hand on the Bible. I swore to tell the truth. I knew his lawyer was waiting to paint me as the ungrateful girl, to twist every gift and every favor. But I looked past the lawyer, past his family, and I looked Uncle Chinedu right in the eye. And I opened my mouth. This is my story. This is the truth I carried, the truth that everyone in Riverside wanted me to swallow, to hide, because I was supposed to be grateful. I told them the truth about every favor and every gift, like that necklace he gave me. I told him how he used all his kindness as a weapon, the same weapon he used that night when his voice turned cold and he said, "After everything I've done for you, it is my story. It is my truth. And no matter what happens in this courtroom, no one can ever take that away from me."